Welcome back to PawsCast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Doon the Fox. And how often does Draft Stallion adopt a new dad Sona? Once every blue moon. And I'm here with the dads themselves. Hi, Wolfe.
Not a dad.
Close enough. Hi, Draft.
I'm just annoying.
Hi, Draft.
What up, baby girl?
Oh my god, BB. So, for the audio listener, you probably know if you've been watching this show that Wolfe and Draft have not been on the show yet. So they have no idea all the smack we've been talking about. But that's not the forum for today. Today's topic is, of course, VRChat. Whoa! We're going to talk about some digital furry animal stuff. It's going to be really cool. These two animal people are huge fans of VRChat, are you not?
I am more than Wolfe is, because he usually is in desktop. I'm in headset.
Yeah.
I'm usually just kind of there,
You just become a mannequin, so to speak.
so to speak.
And then you become a mannequin, but with full body tracking.
I'm the VRChat whore.
Yeah, you kind of are. No lie. And we're going to get into all of that. So,
Spill the tea.
we're going to spill so much tea. We all have our water.
I just cleaned the table.
Oh, yeah, we're at a table, by the way. I don't know if you knew. A round table, you might say.
No comment.
That's fine. We're not doing shapes today. So, we're talking about VRChat. So, where I want to start is just very simple. When did you guys start using VRChat?
When the world went to shit.
So, like, COVID times.
Pandemic, basically.
Yeah.
So, that was early
2020?
2020? Yeah. Was that, like, your first time ever using VRChat? Or?
Yep.
Okay.
Started off with the Quest 2, then immediately went out and bought me a gaming laptop.
Absolutely right.
That way I could see all the avatars, because fuck that shit.
Yep. Yeah. Have you played it on a tower or just laptop the whole time?
Just laptop.
Okay. You have a good laptop for sure.
I had the game downloaded long time ago and just never made an account.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of friends were saying that they were talking to people on VRChat, and they're like, you should make an account. I'm like, I've had it for quite a while. I suppose I should finally set up an account and log in. And then I forget, the people that told me to get into the game really just kind of stopped playing almost immediately. And somehow I stumbled across Draft and his group of friends and really enjoyed playing it, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
And then I trapped him.
Yeah, we know, but you don't have to admit it to the public.
Come here, pretty boy.
So 2020. So the pandemic was like, I mean, I'm going to throw out a month. It really probably started winter of 2019, but I think 2020, like February, March is when like the WHO started to get involved, and like the government was like, hey, this is like a real pandemic now, you know? I think that's when I started using VRChat too, if I remember correctly. I knew a few people who were playing it, and I got my Quest 2 from Dameron. So I think I had started on desktop, and then I have been using a Quest 2 almost the whole time since then, but I recently obtained a Quest 3, and I love it. No full body tracking for me, because I'm lazy and I sit down.
I have to put in contacts in order to use it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that makes it more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because when I put my contacts in, I don't want to just put them in for a couple hours and then take them out. So it's a bit more of an ordeal for me. So I put them in. It's like, all right, well, we better be on here for a while. And then after we start gaming, I get a headache because...
Eye strain, of course.
Well, combination of eye strain, getting old, my heart surgery and blood pressure and all that fun shit. So
Yes.
I never used to get motion sickness until after my surgery. So now it hits me and it's just like, okay, sorry guys, I want to vomit. And it's usually about an hour or two. And then it's like, well, I feel like this was a waste putting my contacts in.
Yeah. That actually is a very interesting thing about VR that I learned when I was starting to use it, is like, oh, this apparently convinces the brain enough so that, for example, if you fall down from a great height virtually, like, I feel it in my stomach. Like, I don't know. There's just
You
something
didn't get
about
that little tingle down below?
Yeah. It feels like my stomach is actually reacting to G-forces. Like, it's very strange. But yeah, there's a learning curve, right? Because I had eye strain too when I was starting to use headsets, and like headaches, of course, after a while. But I feel like you can get past it, and now I'm just like, all right, I can do a couple hours, a few hours, and I feel fine for the most part.
Like I remember jumping on one where it was a roller coaster, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not actually moving, so this shouldn't be so bad. And
Right.
it's spinning and twisting. I'm like, okay, this is better than me trying to run, because for whatever reason, your brain will make that distinction between you moving and then sitting in a rail cart or roller coaster being moved. But there was one point on the roller coaster where I got that tingle in my groin. I was like, oh, this is going to suck. And then you go down, it's like, oh, okay, so the gringle meant nothing.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm calling the tingle in my groin a gringle.
That I heard you, and I was like, how do I respond to this?
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Gringo or gringo?
That's what I heard initially. I was
Gringo!
like, this white boy didn't matter.
You like how I managed to get that in there?
They're so gay for each
My
other.
little flour tortilla.
My aburrido.
I'm a crunch dada. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Gordita.
So, what is your favorite part about VRC? Like, what is the one thing above all else that keeps you coming back to VRChat?
He doesn't have to deal with people directly.
Well, so dive into that. What does that mean for you?
Well, I'm an introvert in person, so I get to be more extroverted online because it's easier to be extroverted online versus in person.
Because you're not actually with those people.
Well, I'm not wasting as much energy being with the person physically versus online.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm more extroverted in person, but then I hop on VRChat and I have no facial expressions. I have nobody to actually look at. I can't read people as easily. So on VRChat, I become introverted.
Yeah. Makes sense. I sort of relate to that in the context of like dance competitions, if that makes sense. So in the same way an introvert might get nervous about being in a social situation, there's kind of like a performance anxiety, right? So when I get on stage, I'm like, I could never do this out of suit. I have to do it in my suit because nobody can, quote unquote, see me.
I don't like the dance
character.
out of suit either.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like at the raves and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a little less like you don't have to put in as much energy when you're socializing online, even though it's more interactive, which is cool. Wolf, what's your favorite thing about VRChat?
I don't have to see people.
You just see animals.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The cute and fuzzies.
He's like, ooh, a furry booty.
Yeah. Well, because you can design them however you want.
Yeah.
I don't like people.
Yeah.
And to being on VRChat, I don't have to see real people. I get to see the artwork and enjoyable characters that people have met.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I basically, like, I know I'm talking to other people.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking to people.
It's kind of like watching a video and being in a voice chat at the same time. But it's more interactive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. So that's, yeah, makes sense.
I mean, there's no real nice way to say it. I don't like people. People suck. And that's why, I'm in the fandom, because I'm not talking to people. I'm talking to animals.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, my favorite part about VRChat is because I consider myself an extrovert. So especially during the pandemic, when conventions were getting canceled because of it being a safety issue at that point, large gatherings, and like bowling meets and things weren't happening. So when the pandemic was happening, like there was a drive to still socialize, of course, and VRChat was a really easy, immersive way to do that, and now that we're theoretically past that point in the timeline, like it's still a way for me to be like, I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to fly somewhere to a convention. I can just hop online and see people. More of the draw for me to VRChat right now is for filming. So like we made You Are What You Eat, that scripted video in VRChat for season 3. And we've done some dance videos in VRChat because the MMD stuff is really cool. Super cool. And yeah, I don't know. I just think there's a lot you can do with it that you can't do in real life. I guess that's like the obvious way of describing it. But another example is like audience anarchy. Like I don't have access to a stage and a computer that can generate text for us to do a script. You know what I mean? So like worlds like that where they're so well constructed, I think is what really brings me back to VRChat.
Well, not just that, you get to meet a lot of people from around the world that you wouldn't normally get to meet.
That's true too.
You see them almost on a semi-daily basis.
Yeah, VRChat and all of the plugins and software and the computer and stuff, that's a lot cheaper than a flight. And no PTO if you're working a job, you know? So when I started using VRChat, that was my first time meeting, like, I think somebody who properly lives in Britain, for example, you know? And of course I met some Canadians or whatever, but like, I've met Canadians before, you know? So like, but yeah, so being able to sort of jump across the pond virtually was really, really neat. All right. What's your least favorite part about VRChat?
Not being able to put the headset on and be all animated like everybody else.
Yeah, you're definitely desktop restricted right now.
I can put it on. It's just, again, I'm usually restricted by how long am I going to be able to hold out.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, oh, well, you just have to build up a tolerance to it. Well, maybe for normal people, but after my surgery, it's caused a lot of restrictions, not just with VR, but physically. And like I have moments where just even sitting in desktop mode, doing nothing, I'll usually tell everybody, I'm like, all right, my head's spinning. I got to lay down for a minute.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is, you know, it's hard for you to immerse because you have just physical limitations that are happening right now.
Yeah. When I did first pick up my Quest 2 headset, I put it on. I was playing with friends. There was one friend that walked up, and he's, oh, that's a cute avatar. And he pet me on the head. I'm like, what the fuck was that? He's like, what? I'm like, why did I feel that? And he goes, oh, yeah, that's Phantom Sense. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I know this is meant for later in the cast, but that threw me because I was like, why did I feel that? And he goes, you want to see something really weird? I'm like, I'm not sure. He leans over and goes, and I was like, why is my neck warm? What the hell? So it hit me rather quickly. My brain was not understanding that this is all fake. None of it's real. I haven't had sensations like that since, but the first time that I was trying it out, that just totally threw me. I'm like, why is my brain filling in these gaps that aren't there?
Yeah. Brains are cool.
They can be. They can also suck horribly.
Yeah.
As stated previously.
Yes. So that bites ass for sure. What about you, Mr. Stallion?
I'd say just as you can see the best in people online, you can also see the worst in people online.
Damn right.
So I get online to de-stress, to get away from everything, to have fun. A lot of people just jump on there to fucking trauma dump
or troll or like whatever.
That too, but they'll tend to try to use me as a fucking personal therapist, and I'm like, no, I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to deal with your bullshit right now.
You don't want to be somebody's sounding board?
No.
Yeah. I feel like that happens at cons a little bit too. So this might just be a thing about furry, because this is a little unrelated, but I sort of jokingly call furry the island of misfit toys. A lot of us are just not people who fit into many common social situations, right? So I feel like at cons or like in VRChat, like you're saying, like people just feel like, oh, you're a person who smiles and doesn't hate me right away. Let me give you everything about my life ever.
Exactly.
You know, ironically, there's probably a couple of furries out there that would love to be called a misfit toy.
Not just that though, too. There's a lot of people that don't pick up on social cues or read. For instance, your status can literally say busy filming. Oh, here's 6 invite requests. Go away.
That's why I go red. I'm not doing that shit.
It's like literally this morning, my status said filming busy. Person sends me a request. I reply back that I'm busy. They send me 3 more fucking requests. It's like, didn't you just get my reply that I was busy?
Yeah.
Well, the sad part is it's not even just VR. It's furries in general. There's a bunch that don't get those social cues. You'll be at a convention wearing a badge that says, "Do not touch, no hugs, disrespectfully fuck off."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you for that badge.
You're so welcome.
Did you ever see that I actually Sharpied dis in front of respectfully?
I actually didn't.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Made it better.
But yeah, like there's definitely an element in furry where it's like people aren't necessarily going to pick up on every single social cue, right? So they're just sort of like, all right, we're in the moment and there's animals and my brain is firing dopamine. So now I can let loose and be myself, and there's just a conversation that has to happen successfully or otherwise about boundaries, because you know, you don't have to be the sounding board all the time. So your least favorite part is people not leaving you the fuck alone when you want to be left the fuck alone.
Pretty much.
Got it. That's easy.
But I mean, that's just kind of a general rule. Even at conventions, sometimes you want to be left alone. Everyone's like, we should hang out. And then they shadow you and it's like, please fuck off.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is people take... I've never really said this out loud, so this might be funny to say, but like, I think people have an implicit understanding or assumption that if I go to a convention or if I go on VRChat, that automatically means I am ready to socialize and talk to people and hang out. And that's not always the case.
Nope.
You know? But I think people have that assumption for some reason.
That's kind of the pop you first / movie star, you know, famous person kind of thing. You know, like if you're famous, that automatically means that you need to
be open to receiving whatever and everything
from everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a situation we were in back when VRChat was acting up for me. My notifications were broken, so we had to jump into a Friends Plus instance.
Yeah.
So everybody could get together for our pack night. And literally as soon as I go green, somebody else has already joined off.
Right. Right.
It's like, what the hell? Are you like stalking my profile?
Yeah. So, some people just wait, you know? Yeah.
Waiting. Green, go!
I think my least favorite part about VRChat, probably just public instances, maybe.
Ew.
I haven't been in those in forever.
Yeah.
I forgot that's a thing.
And this is kind of an unintentional segue into our next topic. But so I only want to hang out with the people I want to hang out with, or people that those people trust. I don't want... Every time I've gone into a public world, which has been probably, I can count it on one hand, like 3 to 5 times, right? Every time I go into a public world, it's 12 to 14-year-olds that just learned how to swear. That's all it is, you know? It's like if I wanted to be in a Call of Duty Xbox lobby, I would have done that. I'm on VRChat.
You see some of these kids, and I like to refer to them as squeakers because it's like, okay... I hate these little fuckers. I screwed your mom. Like,
and all it is adolescent parrots. It means nothing. They don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like,
they think that it's an insult, and it's like, no, she'd look at you and laugh. Like,
I don't even engage that far. I'm just like, congrats, you freaking blasted air out of your mouth. Like, cool. What a cool guy you are.
Like, hey kid, you want to see a really cool feature? Let me show you. Block.
Yep. I disappeared forever. All right. So on this subject, I think we all prefer private instances, obviously, right?
Because people suck.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems to be a reoccurring trend in this podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Well, also, I've had avatars ripped in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a fanboy that was like a 15-year-old. He ended up buying a copy of one of my avatars. And I'm like... I found him basically because I was scrolling my friends list,
right?
And he was wearing my Blue Moon. So when I joined him, he's wearing Blue Moon with a daddy harness, and he's 15. He's like, you have no fucking business wearing no fucking daddy avatar when you're fucking 15-year-old.
Also, you stole.
Yeah,
you stole. Like, period.
Like, just because you found it available for purchase online does not mean that is a legitimate purchase. You know, it's called the Ripper Store.
Yes.
You know, and there's a reason why it got shut down.
There's also a reason why people shop at places like that. You know, some people are just like, well, you know, I'll never get to meet that person or be that person, so I'll just pretend to be that person or whatever.
You want to know what that reason is?
What's up?
People suck.
Yeah. I love your mantra for this episode.
This episode is going to be titled People Suck.
It's not.
Its subtitle is going to be "People Suck."
The Wolfe subtitle in the comments will be "People Suck." All right.
All right. So anybody listening, I want you to count how many times I say "people suck."
Yep. That's great. Thank you so much.
That was a random fox noise. Hee. That means it's time to let you know we are on Patreon. If you like this podcast and want to see more, we have multiple subscription options available. You could even get early access to episodes and access to an exclusive group chat. Whoa! Go to patreon.com/pawsplay to learn more and subscribe today. Thank you so much for supporting furry content online. You're amazing! Back to the show.
So, let's talk about your favorite worlds in VR. One of mine, and I do not remember the name of it, so whatever. But one of mine is that MMD world that we filmed the Halloween dances in.
Oh, Doon likes a music world. That's a surprise.
Nero's MMD.
That's right. Nero's MMD. That one, but it has so many options, and I can just put the camera somewhere and then just record. So a lot of the nice automation features are built into that world. So for filming, it's great. Similarly, I love Audience Anarchy because there's a feature that takes the camera and just automates where it is and how it moves. So a lot of that automation is there too. When we're not talking about filming, there's a couple of worlds that I like. Is it Moonlight Tavern? Is that the one we've been using for years now? I think.
The one that I have as my home world?
I think that is your home world. Yeah. There's another world. I think it's called Silent Beach or something. And it basically is just there's a pier out into the water and you see the water reflecting all the stars, and then there's no light pollution. So there's a bunch of stars in the galaxy. And then there's like a little beach house and whatever else. Those are pretty neat. I am more recently getting into escape room type worlds. So one I just played is Pop Escape. That's been around for forever. It's about 2 to 4 hours depending on how you solve the puzzles. Love them. And then there's another one called, oh my god, what's it called? I wanted to say Tales from the Crypt, which is hilarious. It's some kind of game where it's like a platforming game almost, where you maneuver through this like kind of Coliseum type world. And then there's like ghosts and skeletons and things, and it's actually really, really cool.
I found one you'd like the other day. You were talking about wizards. This one you actually have to draw the incantation to cast a spell.
Yes, I would love anything magic. Yes, please.
Which, by the way, sucks on desktop mode.
I'm sure it does. So I think for my favorite VRC worlds, then it's pretty much 3 different categories. So one is stuff that's easy to film for video. Another is there's an activity that's happening or a game of some kind. And then the third one is like, I'm by myself, this world is pretty, and I'm just sitting and enjoying. That's pretty much my 3 categories of like favorite worlds, I think. That's what I like to use VRC for.
Pretty much the same.
Those 3. What gaming stuff do you normally play? I know you guys did a lot of like, is it
Blackout and Murder 4.
Murder 4, yep. There was another one though, I thought, for a while.
We did that one episode of the what's it called? Damn it.
What do you mean, or whatever it was?
Yeah,
I remember that. Did you guys do that magical freeze tag world for a while?
That too.
Okay,
We get burned out of that one a little quickly.
sure.
My favorite thing in that world is there's this little tiny figure. If you find the spot, you can see this little figure. It's just spinning in a circle. It doesn't move. It just spins in a circle.
Yeah.
And I like the music that plays. do 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 do, and I'll just sit there and I'll sing the music. People run up, they tag me. I'm like, fuck off, I'm busy.
Because you echolocated yourself.
They know.
Yeah.
So people will be like, Wolfe, I'm frozen. Wolfe, come on, freeze me. Fuck you, I'm listening to music.
What was the world that this was when you and I draft like started hanging out initially? It was like some world that was kind of maybe technical, and then it was like a hide and seek game or something. Like one of the rooms was like a big gym, I think.
Oh, zombie tag.
Was it zombie tag? Yes, that feels right. Yeah. I remember because I remember we learned like where all the secret like hallways and passages were and stuff.
They've updated that one a lot.
I haven't even seen it since I think all those years ago when we started using it, like, or started playing in that world.
There's a lot more secret rooms.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out. What are some of your guys' other favorite
So
worlds?
my favorite worlds, thank you for asking.
You're so welcome. I was getting there.
As you change topic.
Of course.
One of my favorite worlds is actually, one that nobody likes playing with me because I'm apparently too good at it, is Prop Hunt.
Oh,
I love Prop Hunt worlds.
Isn't that like an
games.
actual game though?
Yeah,
as well.
There's an actual prop. There's a bunch of different Prop Hunt
We
games.
don't do that one often on VRChat though.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was on VRChat.
They do have a couple in VRChat. They're not really the greatest.
Yeah.
They have them on Fortnite as well.
Yes.
And nobody wants to play with me on Fortnite because I'm too good, apparently. But I love Prop Hunt games. I think they're so much fun.
Yeah. I've never actually played a Prop Hunt game, so maybe
There's so many different variations of it.
Yeah.
So far, some of the best ones that we found were in Fortnite.
yeah.
I had actually recently picked up a copy of a Prop Hunt game. I think it was Prop Hunter.
Okay.
But I picked it up for me for draft and for our pets, and we wanted to play it. And I've seen a lot of videos. The game looks really fun. Then we start playing it and like, wow, this unfortunately kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only $2 for the game, so I paid $10. No real big loss, and the game will eventually get a bunch of updates and hopefully become better. But when we were playing it, it was fun for a very short while.
Sure.
And the problem with the Prop Hunt and the VR chat worlds is they're very buggy and glitchy because of how VR chat was designed.
Yeah.
It doesn't update like most video games do.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody had explained it to me as it essentially updates your data, your information every 6 frames or something like that.
Right.
So it doesn't send this information very consistently. So when you're playing a game like Murder for Blackout, whatever, you'll shoot somebody or throw a knife and you're like, I killed you. I hit you first. Well, okay, it's latency, but it's really just because the game doesn't send and receive that data very quickly. So
Right.
a lot of times, somebody can throw a knife, kill you right as you pull the trigger and kill them. You both died at the same time as far as the game's concerned because it's not registering who actually got the kill first.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the scenic worlds, and I like to go world hopping, especially to find potential worlds to film in later on.
Yes, for
Make
sure.
more TikToks and stuff for backgrounds.
Yeah. That actually reminds me. One of my actual favorite worlds when I'm on my own, there's a world called Adrift. It's been around for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years now, maybe less. It's got a Patreon and a Discord. There's a lot of like people supporting this thing, and the developers are working on it. Essentially what it is it's a world for people who are tripping balls. So it's very psychedelic and like beautiful and pretty to look at, but it's got all these like physics toys and like visual toys, just fun things to look at that are kind of like fractal or melty, whatever. And you can like play with gravity and you can fly around and you can do all these different things. So even though it's meant for like I'm having an experience on weed or like mushrooms or acid or something, it's really designed. I mean, even if you don't do that stuff, it's a really fucking neat sandbox in a virtual reality context because you can just do so many different things and look at so many things. It's been updated heavily over the years. So my favorite version of that world, I don't think it exists anymore. The current version, though, is still very cool to look at. It's just a little more skeletal now because I think they're trying to build some really, really big things for it. But stuff like that really does it for me, too. World hopping is also fun. I try to go world hopping sometimes, but there's like too many fucking worlds.
Hip hop, a hip it to the hip it to the hip hop.
I do a lot of MMD when I'm by myself, especially since I like to look at my character's ass.
I was about to say, so we all have Wolfman avatars.
Well, not just
Mine's
that, it's like
broken.
specifically, there are certain songs that I like watching my big Rottweiler character dance because he has a nice big ass. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, that dad booty.
I think every single one of Draft's avatars has that huge tank ass.
Not all of them.
Well, none of them are certainly flat, that's for sure. You like cake. We get it.
Yep.
We have time for one more question. Do you guys have a favorite moment ever that happened in VRChat? Wolf is already laughing. You can start.
I have so many.
What's like number one?
The one that comes to mind in particular, I actually made a clip of it on TikTok. I was playing with one of my friends. We were playing Blackout, and I got the grenade as a weapon. And he was standing in the billiards room behind the bar, and I saw him back there. I pulled the pin. I wound up to yeet the grenade and just chucked it behind the bar.
Yeah.
I was not the killer, but I didn't give a shit. I yeeted that bitch behind the bar. He turns, goes, "What the f-" And then he died. And I'm dying laughing. I thought it was funny as hell. Somebody else goes, "It's Wolfe," and shot me. And I'm like, worth it. Totally worth it.
That's crazy.
So my favorite moment was me being a troll and
Boy,
trolling my friend.
that's actually the theme of this episode, is you just being a troll.
I was being a gremlin.
The same thing.
Gremlins are cuter.
Okay.
Bitch, I'm adorable.
You are. But I don't get to say that. Do you have a favorite moment, Draft, in VRC?
Oh, one of them was when I first started talking to Wolfe about potentially dating and shit. We're all hanging out, and Wolfe, just being Wolfe, like, "Draft, apparently you're my boyfriend now. I'm going to have the butt sex."
Oh my god!
Oh, I remember this. We were in a world, and one of our friends had entered, and without any context says, "Hey Wolfe, I heard you and Draft are dating now." And I'm like, that was so random and out of the blue. Like, I'm like, "Draft, apparently you're my boyfriend now. Come here. I want to have the butt sex with you. I want to stick my penis into your butt and have the sex in." And just, it was so fucking dumb.
That is so clinically dry and sterile and disgusting.
But I was dragging it out so much. Draft couldn't get a word in because he was laughing so fucking hard.
Next, you know, one of our friends turns into a fucking puddle and sits under me and makes it look like fucking splooge.
Oh my god!
Yep.
He's like,
And
what the fuck?
somewhere on my computer, I have a screenshot of that, and it was hilarious. And everyone's just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That's insane.
And it was it was quite funny.
That is crazy.
Well, that was when I was crushing on him. So I was like, as soon as he says, I guess we're boyfriends now. I'm like, oh shit, is this actually happening?
And then you were like, "I'm having heart arrhythmia. I need to go to a doctor." That's actually so adorable.
It was hilarious because you could hear he wanted to say something, and then I just keep going and broke the train of thought, and he just keeps laughing. It's like, okay,
I think that's probably normal for you guys now. I think you do most of the talking, and you just don't let people, you know.
not usually on VRChat. VRChat, it's usually him. I'm usually the quiet one, but
Yeah.
I'll have my
VRChat,
moments.
I'm usually flustering some cute boy or something. But
Oh, well, how kind of you, doing social work. I also have a lot of favorite moments in VRChat. They revolve around videos we filmed. So there are so many fucking funny moments I can think of in like Audience Anarchy. One of my favorite Audience Anarchy moments is when it was Wolfe and I in the doctor's office. And
This was season 2.
this was season 2 of Cosplay, yeah. And I don't remember the exact quote, but basically you said something like you needed to examine like my tail or my hole or something.
Coxus.
Or my
your coccyx.
and then like I had to like pretend to like take off my clothes and like, okay, here it is. And then you're like reaching over and we're both just losing our shit. Like it was so fun. That whole skit was so
I
funny.
come in nothing but a jock.
You have the shiniest, bounciest Speedo on. Just like, all right, I'm the sonic screwdriver. That honestly killed me.
I still have no idea what the hell a coccyx is.
A coccyx is your tailbone.
I don't know
Okay.
if this one's been released, but the last Audience Anarchy one.
That one, well, by the time this episode airs of the podcast, it will already be out.
The moment where I think it was Wolfe that disconnected and suddenly fucking what's his name gets pulled
Terry
in.
just popped in.
He's like, what the fuck does happen?
Oh, I'm a bunny now. It was so crazy.
Oh, the next Audience Anarchy is the one you'll get to see different characters, not just Arun.
Yes. Yeah. Because what we've learned with Audience Anarchy is Arun, or Draft, brings his entire fucking wardrobe to
Hell yeah.
set, wears every goddamn outfit. That's how I know you're gay. Because in VRChat, you act like a queen.
For that Audience Anarchy episode, both of us choosing Arcanines was great, especially when they were talking about Pokemon in the script.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, this actually fits rather well. But then, what did they make me, like a Chansey or something? I was like, really?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
And I was like a Ninetales and something else. I could have put my Ninetales avatar if I would have known that was the thing. But
Yeah. Well, and like we don't really look at the scripts beforehand, you know, which lends itself to some really funny moments. All right. Well, thank you, Wolf. Thank you, Draft, for being here, talking about VRChat a lot of it. That's it from us. What's your favorite part of VRChat? What's your favorite world in VRChat? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. We'll let you know when another episode is coming out. Thanks for tuning into PawsCast. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.